lining up here today. The French, of course, both sides featuring lots of debutants. The French, 8 debutants, and 8 of the 17 from Toulouse, 8 from Catalan. The one difference in that is Morgan Escarret, who's a late call-up the winger. He plays at Salford, but he's a late call-up for the injured Ilias Bergal. And England, likewise, 8 different clubs represented in that 17-man squad. And again, 8 debutants, 1 headline maker, the scrum half Jordan Abdul, after his stellar season with Hull Kingston Rovers. But I'm sure there's a few headline makers potentially here today. There's our referee, as we mentioned, Benjamin Casti, brother of the redoubtable Remy Casti. 2 French touch judges as well, Stéphane Visson and Geoffrey Poom. But an Englishman in the video refs booth today, Robert Hicks, will be making any decisions as and when required. Well, here's a test of temperament for this young English side, a test of how deep the talent pool is, and they've passed the first test by kicking off and allowing it to bounce. The French side have made a mistake right from the off. And let's have a look at that again. Press rewind and have a look at that again. It's well planted from an English point of view, but just about the worst possible start from a French point of view. And it's an early chance to add pressure here for England. Alex Walmsley driving it forward. Let's hear from our 2 co-commentators, Jonathan Davis and Jamie Peacock. Jamie, as a former England captain, what are you expecting here today?
Yeah, it's exciting, really. It's exciting to see the international game back on.
That's going to be a penalty.
That's what you'll get in France in an international game. Make it feisty, make it tasty. Well, I expect a physically confrontational game. You've just witnessed that.
That's like being back in the 80s, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it can't be a bit of old school in a test match. I like to see a little bit of this. It shows the
as long as you're not on the end of it. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a game of opportunity today. It's an opportunity for some England players to show Shaun Wane what they're capable of. Are they able to play and be in the World Cup squad next year? And Morgan Knowles, I believe, is going to be one of those key players. He's got the ability to step up and be world class as Morgan.
Well, that shows their intent. Look, they're not going for goal. They expect to score a lot of points today.
You'll have played a few times in a Great Britain shirt in France. Wouldn't you, Jiffy? You'd have expected that kind of stuff.
Yes, you know, they want to mix it up a little bit.
There's Lomax, who's just about 10 metres away. Opportunity knocking here for England earlier on. McShane back on the inside for Walmsley. Alex Walmsley telling us this week how much he's learning from playing alongside Paul McShane in training. A different hooker, a different style. Knowles takes it forward, held up just short again. McShane. First set of 6, and England already attacking. Abdul out wide, Hardacre read by the winger Escarret, who came in, and he's got friends there to make sure that Hardacre's route to the goal line is hesitated. It's the last play. Abdul with one of those famous kicks. He's measured it. It's been lost and dived on, and who's going to get that? Bateman in the end got there.
I think there'll be a video ref from New York.
Last tackle.
Well, nobody seemed to want this, did they? Try he's giving.
Check. Grounding ball, please.
What do we reckon, Jamie?
I think it's, first of all, it's good to see the halfbacks working together. I'd just like to look at this a little bit closer there. John Bateman didn't seem to think it was a try if you looked at his face. Feels like the French player grounded it. The full back.
Corella, isn't it?
Yeah, you need a closer look at that.
I think he has scored. I don't think Corella got the ball down.
Ooh. Well, it's touch and go, isn't it?
It is.
Whether it is touch and goal.
It's a lovely little chip, though. It's good chase.
Well, nobody wanted it there. Corella tries to get a hand on it. Oh, they're looking and looking again here.
Does he have down? It all depends if he got downward pressure on that ball. If he hasn't, Bateman has scored. And it's up to the, the video referee to look at it.
Well, what a start it would be for John Bateman in his first game. That's That should have been grounded. That's Corella. That's grounded.
Yes.
That hasn't it, Jane?
20 minutes. Drop out.
Yeah, he grounds
drop
it.
Out, drop out.
But they can't, you know. The one thing that the boys in Stew just said, you've got to mix it up. They've got to, you know, get into the English side. But they've got to keep their discipline. They can't make mistakes. From the kick-off, then there's a high shot. They put themselves under pressure straight away. So they've got to cut that out because, you know, all these English boys will have an opportunity to make their mark of the World Cup next year. You know, this is typically the season where a lot of the players go under the orthopedic surgeon's knife after the end of the season. So it's a great opportunity for these players here now.
Yep, should have been the start of the roller coaster, as we said, but it is the final game of the season for all the players on show here. McShane to that right-hand side. Lomax with a short ball, just trying to punch a hole through the middle. Is Bateman, who's, as we said in the build-up, probably not had his best of seasons with Wigan this year, but just a glimpse there of what he's capable of. Abdul. Here's McShane. Rolling in again. Knowles puts it back. Lomax tries to trick his way through.
It's a good set this by England. It's nice and measured. It's controlled. Nobody overplaying at the moment.
McShane with a short flat pass, and it is going to be Farrell who scores. The referee will point the finger, and England have had the perfect start to this game, making that or forcing that mistake with a kick-off, and then with this try.
Yeah, again, they just switch off at marker. It's a simple run in for Farrell. Just runs over the top of Jazam, the centre. That's a feeble tackle. They number up, and Farrell just strolls in. All down to the mistakes and the ill-discipline from the start for the French.
Yeah, you just think Paul McShane all season in Super League, that's his pet play. You know, look to the open side, come down the short side, try put a player one-on-one with the defender, and the French defender just needs to be better than that. It's a good line by Liam Farrell. I liked what England did in the build-up to that. They stretched France, they moved it around. It seemed like every player knew the detail, but at the international level, you would say that's just a little bit too easy for me to score a try like that with a one-on-one miss, and it could be a long day for France if they're going to keep missing one-on-ones in that manner.
So it's going to be Jordan Abdul who has the attempt at goal here, the conversion. Much heralded debut for him. Is he going to be picking up his first points as an England player? It looks good, and it is good. And England lead early on by 6 points to 0.
Again, one-on-one miss. As I said, put themselves under pressure. They haven't got out of their own half yet, and that's an easy run in for Farrell.
Time off.
So the French start again, and for the first time the ball will be in England's half, but back in England's possession, and here comes Lomax.
Move. Hold.
This is Bateman. Cooper. Mike Cooper of Warrington. Solidly forward.
Go. 2.
McShane out of dummy half again.
Okay.
Riesling.
3. Move.
Perennially, they have not been opposition to challenge England, haven't France?
4.
Whether it has been England or Great Britain, it's 20 consecutive defeats against the English. You've got to go back to Headingley 1990, the last time France beat Great Britain as they were at that stage.
Back.
And that was a big surprise. Remember it well. That was a big shock that day.
10.
There's Abdul with a kick away. Should be and is safely pounched by Mark Corella, who can run it back, but England's chase is decent enough.
Yeah, but easy set for England. You know, the forwards doing the job. Abdul getting a kick on the halfway line, and they're starting from their own 20-metre line again. So very comfortable for England at the moment.
3. Move.
Again,
Hold. Go.
one of the 8 Catalan players in this squad. France going nowhere at the moment. England's defence is good. Jusson.
Hold, Paul, go.
An ad from dummy half. It's taken by Marion. Now they move it left. Now they look to have a bit of intent here. Benjamin Julian.
Back.
Last play coming up.
Okay.
Little reshuffle
Play
of the
on.
feet for Niall Evalds, and an opportunity for England to try and test this
Play
French
on.
chase. Makinson was going to keep you honest
Long.
with those kicks forward, isn't he? Tommy Makinson.
Yeah, Tommy Makinson's one of the
Match him,
players you'd
match.
say within the England team. He's genuinely world class. And again, I just like how measured it is from England. The structure, they know what they're doing. The players seem comfortable.
Go, 2.
And I think from France, that little bit of ball movement, they need more of that. If they're going to test England, they cannot win by just taking one out carriage through the middle.
It's McShane onto Cooper, and Cooper trying to muscle his way beyond that 40-metre mark.
Okay, hold,
Yeah, I think France
hold,
struggled
go,
on the
4.
first set. They had the ball. It just, they didn't get any yardage or meterage from the forwards, and they went wide on the fourth tackle.
Okay, go.
I agree
Four.
with Jamie. That's where they're going to get results.
Abdul.
10.
This time it's high, very, very high. He's got that ability to put it up there, and that's what it causes. Confusion. Carrella's let it slip.
Mark.
England have it back.
6 again.
Morgan Knowles only 5 away. There's a sense of something coming here from England's point of view. Abdul has it knocked away. I think it's going to be a knock-on from Escalé.
Knock on.
Just a little bit of composure needed there by England. They had numbers on the
Centre.
left-hand side. That was an easy
20
walk in
centre.
after a mistake. This is a mistake. Yeah, he should be taking these. Got his body in the wrong
Centre.
position. Doesn't throw the miracle pass, but it just a little bit of composure. That was an easy walk in for them.
If you were to look at one of the reasons why Jordan Abdul's been successful, it's those kicks. Those kicks have been key for Ulkia, and I think they're a real weapon that could be useful in the World Cup if he can play well today and show Sean Wayne what he's capable of.
The shot of Bernard Gouache we saw in the stands, who's been the architect of Catalan's rise in the last 16, 17 years as owner.
Okay.
There's a tap on by Abdul. Farrell puts it over the top. Left it comes to Makinson. Searching back towards the middle and shrugging off one defender, and it takes 3 in the end to sandwich him down.
Hold.
Here's Hardacre
2.
to McShane. Who's going to get this? Out it goes to Lomax. Lomax wider still. Evalds joins in. This is Davis on that right-hand side.
Great finish.
And a dive for the corner. The flag goes over, but of course that doesn't matter. It's whether he's put the ball down without any of his body going into touch, and the referee thinks it's a try.
Check line.
And if anybody knows his way to that corner on this ground, it is Tom Davis, the Catalan winger, who might just have scored here for England.
Well, just watch this, how he transfers his ball into the left hand, one-handed, maybe should put it in the right hand, but he realises the outside shoulder might not get there. So that's an absolutely brilliant finish if he gets it down.
This could be another of those wow moments, but wow, it is surely a wow moment. That is a matter of millimetres. The athleticism, the gymnastics involved, the try is given, that is sensational.
Every time I watch a play like that, it just amazes me how the wingers are capable of doing that. It's just absolutely stunning to be able to execute that at the speed they're running at, under the pressure.
Yeah. From a coach in Manuel, you say, oh, you put your ball in your wrong hand to make a fend. But he realises early he can't get it. The angle he's running, he can't get the right hand down. So he switches the ball to the left hand, and that is a fantastic finish. Balance, poise, clinical finishing.
That's the kind of finish you'll need to beat the big boys in the World Cup, because they're the kind of opportunities that you get only just squeezing in at the corner.
It seems normal now for these wingers. The league wingers now are just there. You'll see them every week. They must practice it. Fantastic finish.
Yeah, we sometimes don't lift the wow factor high enough because we are getting used to that kind of finish, but that is, on any circumstances, absolutely sensational. And the kick is just wide from Abdul. But it is a try on debut for Tom Davis, and a try he will remember for lots of different reasons.
This is just a good try for detail. Every player in the right position, every player available for the ball. Move the ball from one side of the pitch to the other beforehand. That's the team. It looks like a team that's played together for a long time, not a team that's got 8 debutants in at the moment.
It's a softening up process, Jamie. The fours have run hard. They've tied the defenders in. I have to say, the outside defence of France, left and right side, a little bit sus at the moment. They're not sure if they're spotting or, pushing and drifting. So it's going to be a long, long afternoon.
Oh, well, that has gone straight out of play, so that's a mistake right from the kickoff. Gigot, I think it was, wasn't it, who's looking for something, trying to make something happen for his side, because at the moment, the flow is all going one way. But in taking that gamble, he has simply exacerbated the problem, because here come England again. Quick tap by Lynn. And a position is taken straight away. McShane. The big fella's in the middle, queuing up for a smash at that French defensive line. Well, the band is still playing, but it's England they're serenading at the moment, because Evalds and Hardaker. But the defence is good from France. Abdul. McShane. This is Walmsley. It's the human wrecking ball, Alex Walmsley. But they swarm around him. He's got that ball away incredibly. It's an incredible offload. So McShane can queue up behind Cooper. Back to Walmsley. Well, that's one way of stopping him, just getting his shoulders into those big thighs and tip him up.
Cooper and Walmsley have been great early on, I feel. Really laid a platform.
Abdul, here it comes. Lomax beats the man, gets the pass away, and it's his teammate Tommy Makinson who scores in the corner. This is, in the early stages, a cakewalk for England. They are very, very impressive.
Well, the right-hand defence of France have got absolutely no idea what's going on. They're not communicating. They're getting short on numbers. They're not calling people out. And this is too easy. One dummy runner, 4 and 7 go for the same player. So Jasson, you know, they've worked him out straight away. He is lost at the moment, and that's an easy try for England again.
Look, in the French camp, just the short kick-off that led to this early on, that went straight out, that's not the way to get yourselves back into a test match. You know, you need to be kicking long and be prepared to tackle and build pressure back in the game. That's not the way to build pressure. You don't want to take anything away from England there. Well executed down the short side. Again, everybody in position, everybody knows what they're doing. But again, it's easy to do when the defence is not pressurising you.
Yeah. What they needed there, Jamie, was to kick the long ball and have a big set, the defensive set against England in the English 22 to get stuck into them.
Yeah, someone behind the thing for France said, they're trying to somebody we'll try and get ourselves back into the game. England, if they receive the long kick-off, just need to complete at a high level.
Well, apologies, we seem to have one or two problems with Jamie's microphone. We'll hopefully get that sorted out. Kick's gone wide, by the way. It remains at 14 points to 0.
Same passes, too many men picking up the dummy run. It's an easy run in.
Tommy Makinson, by the way, keeping up his terrific record, his strike rate in an England jersey. This is 5th cap.
I think Makinson,
now it's his 5th try.
I think it's been brilliant. You know, ever since he was awarded the International Player of the Year, Makinson, I think that has been the making of him. He's certainly improved as a player since that series.
Okay, play on.
Yes, he was called up against New Zealand, wasn't he? In 2018, had an absolutely phenomenal series. On the back of that, won the Golden Boot Player of the Year, the International Player of the Year. I think one or two Australian judges were a bit sniffy about that, weren't they? Who is this fella, they said, but his coach at the time, Wayne Bennett, said he's a very, very good player. That's who he is. And Wayne Bennett is a good judge of a good player. McShane to Lomax, and here they come again with Bateman. Scoring almost a point a minute at the moment, the English. I don't think France have had possession inside England's half, have they? Have France had possession at all?
I don't think they have, no.
Okay.
There's Abdul's huge high kick again. Corella already will be having nightmares about that, but safely pouched this time.
Yeah, Lomax is taking a bang there to the right shoulder.
Scramble up to his feet by Laguerre. This is Escaré.
Need the forwards now to put their hand up and take this ball up. Hard yardage, that's all they need to get in a good kicking position.
They just need to stop this England march, don't they? The England march forward, building pressure.
Square, go.
Well, they are at least in England's half here, and requires a good kick from Gigot. It's okay. Oh no, it's not gone, has it? No, it's not gone. Evolds has to pick up and play it, and that might not be a bad result from a French point of view.
Yeah, I think they were looking to find touch here. They're going to have to defend from that. The kick was just a little bit too short. Let's see what England can do with this ball again. Can they work their way out of trouble with no errors again, build pressure?
Evolds smarted at dummy half to get things moving. Abdul dragged down. Test today for the French in more ways than one. They are very optimistic about hosting the 2025 Rugby League World Cup. They hosted the first ever back in 1954. But they got local and central government making some very encouraging noises about that 2025 tournament. And today, it's a bit of a show of how they can host games. But at the moment, England are making all the progress. Lynn with the pass away. Evolds gets it away. Here comes Bateman. And Bateman will scoot in for England's 4th try of the afternoon. Well, Shaun Wane must be pleased as punch at the moment because his young charges are doing terrific. Quite an opposite emotion on the opposite bench from Laurent Fresinu, who we just saw. But England are opening France up at will.
It's just great, isn't it, play between 4, 5, 6 players, all expecting the ball. The smell of blood in the water by the England players. They're all thinking we can get hold and get a try here today. And John Bateman, the captain, gets over and scores a try on his debut as being captain. I'm sure he'll be very happy with that.
Yeah, brilliant pass by Lomax to start it off. Sees the space, and then the support play is brilliant from England. Again, very, very average and soft French defence. And as Jamie said, I think every England player now will be looking for that try.
Well, it's 4 tries and 4 different try scorers so far. Abdul Davis, Makinson and Bateman. There's a certain symmetry to that because 2 wingers and 2 back rowers have scored so far.
1 minute.
I think for England here, in a weird way, it'd be good for them to make an error and get them to do some defence. I think Shaun Wane would like to see him do some more defence rather than just being on the front foot all the time, test out that kind of resolve within the team.
Eminently kickable, and so it seems, and England lead by 20 points to 0.
I think Alex Worms there on your screen. He's just been immense. I think he's carried on his form from St Helens. Very, very difficult to tackle and just create space then for other players. And once players know there's tries on the board, everyone turns up in support.
Well, John Bateman has had quite the career, hasn't he? From the day he started as a 17-year-old at Bradford, through to his journey to Wigan and down in the NRL with Canberra, and in various guises for England and Great Britain. Jamie, you reckon he is the outstanding talent on that England side at the moment?
Yeah, well, I think he's a great choice as captain. I think there's a couple of things you can do as captain. You can talk or you can lead by example, and John Bateman's going to lead by example. And I think his style of play suits Shaun Wane's style of coaching. You know, aggressive, abrasive, ruthless, and you would say that about John Bateman. It's good to see France here now with the ball actually in England's half.
Goudeman of Catalan driving it in. Here's Marion at dummy half. Now it's back with Gigot, who's got an arsenal of trickery. It's back with Kerala. Kerala out wide, and here's going to be a French try for Morgan Escaré. The tide is not turned because the try is not going to be given.
10, 20, John.
He's going to be so disappointed with that, isn't he, Escaré?
Yes, he is.
Well, defensive effort was pretty good, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, Makinson, last ditch, just at angle his body, infield a little bit, but you know, they'll be slightly disappointed how easy they cut. You know, they got on the outside of them. Only a foot in touch stops the try.
It was too easy in structure to get round England there. I think they'll be disappointed with that. But if you look at Tommy Makinson, they're the kind of efforts that international players make. You look like a try. We all thought it was going to be a try just because of that effort. Managed to force him to make a mistake. And in a touch, if you're wondering why Tommy Makinson's world class, there's one of his efforts. Great scoring tries, but it's also about stopping them as well as a winger.
McShane left to Farrell.
3, move, Anthony. Okay.
He'll be glad he's in the shadows there, Liam Farrell. I don't think he over-enjoys the sunshine, does he? To Abdul and Lomax. Evolds gives way to The boss of that position, McShane again, the dummy half. Knowles.
Hold.
Held down by his opposite number, Goudemont.
40.
Abdul again, whose left boot has certainly connected that ball quite a few times already. And again, it's an awkward bounce. And Escaré just steering it back to Kerala, who will be seeing plenty more of in Super League next year, given Toulouse promotion this year via the so-called £1 million playoff game against Featherstone.
Hold, go.
Laguerre. Here's Morg. Two young Catalan players who've been catching the eye this year.
Yeah, certainly. The French side have got some wonderful individual players. I think tackling's let them down a little bit today. And I think for England, the test going forward now is that first 20 minutes was just very easy. Now they've got to do some of the more difficult things in Rugby League, which is tackle, work together. Are they able to switch back on and perform and complete these kind of tasks?
Navarrete up to his feet to play the ball. Here comes Goudemont. Some slick passing this time. Kerala puts it towards the corner, but not judged well.
It's a better set by France. You know, forwards made some yardage, give them an attacking opportunity. Unlucky the kick was just a little bit too far.
You think the big thing as well with England for the rest of this game now would be to keep France to 0. That's what you think as a play you'd be wanting to do here. You would be talking about that. You'd be talking about being ruthless and not falling into bad habits because you're playing opposition who are not the same level as you. It's about performing as well as you possibly can. These kind of efforts are the ones that win test matches. And again, a great one from Tommy Makinson.
Oh, he's taken the cameraman as well there, didn't he?
He has, yeah.
Tommy, he got them all there. I mean, he's we admire him for his attacking abilities, but I mean, time and again, he comes up with a defensive effort like that as well. Hopefully the cameraman's okay.
This is a good start here. Aggressive set by the French.
Go.
Well, they need to be aggressive here.
Yeah.
Move. Hold, go. 1.
McShane.
2.
Into the shadows.
Move. Hold, go. Okay, play
Just
on.
about the
2.
toughest start to a set that England have faced
Yes,
so far.
3.
Definitely, yeah.
Move. Corate avec moi. Hold, go. 3.
Philbin.
Hold. Move.
Joe Philbin on from the
Go,
bench. Man who certainly packs a punch
Stay on.
in that impact
Stay
role,
on.
and kept alive by England as well as they move it left with some ambition, but Hardacre takes a tumble.
Surrender. Stand.
I think England's balance between, one out, running hard, and then the ability to offload at the right time has been great. I think it's been very selective and been putting pressure on France.
Abdul's boot again. I mean, he's waiting an age now, isn't he?
That's a
Yaha on that occasion for that ball to come down.
He gets distance and height on it, so it's very difficult for the fullback. He's got the odd spiral bomb and then a normal kick, but it gives the chasers a great opportunity to close the space down.
3.
Brilliant kicking so far by Abdul.
Okay, go.
Coming down
play
with a
on.
swerve
3.
as well, isn't he? He doesn't just fall out of the sky. It's Pelissier, Eloi Pelissier these days with Toulouse, but
Release.
had a spell at Catalan. He had a couple of spells in England as well, didn't he, with Lee and London. Oh, that's poor through the hands of Goudemont.
That's poor execution again. Just a lack of concentration.
20.
Yeah, that's a poor pass. The ball is dying on him.
It's just lazy. It's a lazy pass.
Back.
You'd expect
Okay, play
better
on.
from the captain as well,
Play on, John.
Guijo.
Okay, go.
Philbin
1. Move.
looking to set a platform.
Hold. Go.
McShane, Lomax, quick hands by Evalds, a little too quick, and it's forced Riesling into an error.
Yeah, just overrun that. There was no depth on the movement. But I agree, England, nice balance to their game. Forwards are doing the job. Good control by the half-backs.
1 metre, 1 metre.
They're 20 points up.
Okay, boys.
You think in the front row, Ledsky and Philbin have got a job to do now. The standards were set high by Cooper and Walmsley in that first 20 minutes, and I think they're some of the reasons England were able to play so well and so freely was the half-backs weren't under pressure because of the dents being made by the front rowers. It's up to those two now, the younger players in the team, to take the team forward and do the same.
There's Goudemont.
Go, 2.
Here's Pelissier out of dummy half again. French looking to switch if they can. Julien.
They're really struggling to make yardage.
Okay.
They're going sideways, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they are.
And very few yards forward, if any.
Well, they're going up, taking the ball up in, you know, in ones, and they're just getting spotted and smashed at the moment. Morgan knows, Philbin.
Baguette.
Well, last tackle, and they haven't made many yardage.
So they're relying on a kick. It was behind the 40, but it's not really going to trouble the touchline. It's an easy one for Evolds. Makinson, has he got the beating of Escaré on the outside? No, he hasn't. Abdul. Now Hardacre. The French offering a bit of resistance here.
Go. 2. 3.
Makinson involved again.
Back. Go.
Now McShane, one of the several debutants, the 8 debutants, as we have mentioned. Includes Philbin, by the way. He's making his England debut, but he has played twice for Great Britain, so he's been at this level, just not quite in these colours. Evolds. It's going to be Abdul again with that left foot. A slice this time, and it's going to find touch. The French will have it back.
One thing with Abdul now, he's got to learn is the fact that being a left foot, he's got to put himself in a better position. He's kicked against the grain last 2 kicks. Look, he's got the ability to put, you know, height on it, but he's got to stand and take the pressure away from himself and just stand maybe a little bit lefter to the play the ball.
I think as well it was great from Guijo there. You know, the French captain actually put some kick pressure on, hurried him into the kick, so he couldn't kick how he wanted to. They need more of that, France, those kind of effort areas. The guys earlier spoke about that. They're choices you make. They're not talent, you know, to make those kind of efforts, to make kick pressure, kick chases, to make tackles, and they're the areas which I feel France are down on at the moment, and they're the areas that they can improve on if they want to make the decision to actually do it.
Pelissier. Oh, that's a nice little step back on the inside again by Altemorg, who's excited. Those who've watched him this season. And here he comes again, Altemorg.
Yeah, I think there's an English player left on the ground from that step.
Goudemont, Gigot, Julien reaching but catching well, but couldn't pass away because Hardacre's made the tackle. And I think he's knocked on here, Julien. Last game, by the way, that we'll probably see without scrums. The eagle-eyed will have noticed we've not had scrums today, and we haven't had throughout the season, but they are back, all things being equal, for the Super League season next year, and they will be back for the World Cup. So here's a collector's item, James.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing scrums again. I think it's a great place to attack from for the backs. You know, only 7 players in the full field, and also I suspect some of the forwards will be welcome the scrums to come back so they can go in and chat to each other for a minute and have a rest.
Yeah, this looks a nasty accident. I'm not sure if it's Morgan knows, but when Morgan stepped him, I think his left leg buckled, and I hope his knee or ankle is okay. Not sure we're seeing a replay. It's French television. We just went in for the smash.
I think Morgan Knowles could be a player who becomes pivotal to the England side if they want to go a long way and deep in the World Cup. If he's going to come off here, I think this will impact England. We lost a great loose forward through retirement, and Sean O'Loughlin, one of the best I think of all time. And I think this guy has got the potential to fill his boots and become that world-class middle forward for England, which we need.
He's a different player though, isn't he? He's just smashes everything, runs out. Well, Loughlin was like a real silky loose forward. But going back to the scrums, you know, if you've seen the Australian NRL this year. They've attacked a lot from the scrums, and a lot of tries have come from the scrums. So next year, I hope, you know, the British game will take note of that, because it's a brilliant opportunity to attack, because all the forwards are tied into a scrum.
Yeah, I once got stuck outside a scrum and I got nervous how much space there were out there, so I can testify to that. There's a lot of space to attack.
We're also fascinated to hear what kind of conversations you had in there as well. I should imagine none of them polite for a Saturday afternoon BBC One audience, but
maybe a bit later, Dave. For
okay. Over a pint later, Jamie. Here's McShane out of dummy half. Oh, it's loose and untidy. Is that a problem for England now? You know, a scoreline of 20 points to 0 with 30 minutes played. Is keeping that focus a problem there for England?
I think that's the strength of a great player, his ability to stay focused when your opposition are at the level you're at. And I think it's that ruthlessness and the ability to be the best that you can be regardless of your opposition is what makes a successful international player. And I think that's what Shaun Wane will be looking for. Who are the players who drop off? Who are the players who just stay at it and just want to be? And ruthless want to put 60 points on this French side.
Because England haven't got to change anything. As Jamie said, the two prop forwards have come on. I've got to, you know, put that platform, soak, and bring the defenders inside to create the space outside. You know, just keep on doing what they have been doing and not trying to play too much loose rugby.
Oh, that's untidy as well, isn't it, from Gigot?
He's having a shocker at the moment.
I mean, he's one of those real
shocker.
star players, isn't he? Potentially, he's an absolute dazzler, but
he is not today.
Not today. Big week in the Gigot family, by the way. His brother Samuel played for Spartak Moscow against Leicester City in the Champions League last week. His younger brother. What's the referee given here? And Joe Philbin certainly looks as though he's in the wars, and I think that's a signal that he was taken off the ball, so that'll be a penalty for England.
Okay.
Some of the mistakes. The French hosts here showing us some of the French mistakes that have been made.
And that late hit was just giving them good field position.
Go.
When we talk about this England side being embryonic in nature, well, it's even more the case for the French side. So many young players and a young coach in Laurent Fresinu, only 44 years of age, his first international in charge. He will be assisted by Trent Robinson at the World Cup, so there's some pedigree there, the Sydney Roosters coach, rated as one of the best in the world. McShane at dummy half, another set of 6 here for England. I think that's the first reset we've had in the game, and England find it in excellent position.
Yeah, that was due to a quick play of the ball by Bateman.
Curry plays, McShane goes left, step back on the inside, Aledzki put down, but only 5 away. McShane, Abdul, Farrell twisting but can't get the pass, tackled up top. Hardacre looking on the outside, but it's clearly knocked on.
Yeah, it's good defence. I think they've taken Jassam off number 4. He was struggling defensively. I think Julien has moved into the centre position defensively.
I'd like to see England, when they're down in the French 20 now, think about building pressure, you know, rather than trying to score on every play. Where's that going the short side there? Can you get a repeat set of 6? That's going to be of more value to the team than trying to go down the short side there, and I think long-term would be as well.
Here's Yaha. Fouad Yaha, we've mentioned this before. His uncle Baghdad was a former French international, played with Paris Saint-Germain back in the day, those early days of Super League.
Hold, go. 3.
Pelissier. Sangaré driving it in and offloading as well, getting it away. Oh, that's a loose offload by Goudamon, which has given England possession back again, and look where they are again. Lynn. Second cap today for Rhys Lynn. His last was against the French. G Sports Village in 2018. Here's Fielding. He's the only English survivor from that day as well, is Riesling.
Hold. Go.
Here's
3.
McShane. Abdul. Quick hands from Evalds. This now is Makinson.
4. Let's go.
Good defence.
Evalds. McShane looking to pick the pass. It's Lomax in the path, and Curry, but the defence was up and almost picked up by Laguerre, who would have had dreams of going 85 yards and getting his side back in it, but not to be.
It's the right idea by England. They've completed this play a number of times now. You know, work the ball to the left-hand side, come all the way back across the right to create space in the right. It's just the detail and execution at the end, and there's no need to force that pass. These are the areas that really hurt you when you play the best teams in the world, is forcing the pass when you don't need to, making unforced errors. One of the reasons why France are losing 20-0 is the 4, 5, 6 forced errors they have. Can't build any pressure.
Go. 1.
Felicia.
Yeah, they've created opportunities, extra men on the outside, but just the execution, the depth that they've got to hold.
2. Move back.
They've got to be clinical.
Hold.
Corentin Lecam
Go.
on the field, all 6'8" of him. Corentin Lecam.
3. Move. Okay, 6
Felicia.
again.
Another set for the French. Restart of the set by the referee. So
1.
there's the first tackle now.
John. Okay, John.
4 minutes before half-time. Can France pluck something out of the bag here, or can England hold tight? It's Sangaré.
Move back, Liam.
They've got to get out of their own half first, Dave.
Go. 2.
They do.
They've struggled to do that.
There's Yaha.
You wonder, you know, the first 20 minutes were the French debutants overawed a little bit, you know.
Well, John Keir made a good point, the Wales coach, in our podcast this week, saying these Toulouse players, let's just watch this. These Toulouse players have had an excellent season, but they've only played 12 matches this year because of COVID. They've had a fortnightly schedule, and they've not had anything like the intensity of this game here today. So this maybe has caught them cold.
Yeah, definitely. You can see that after 20 minutes, they've got used to the intensity of the game. They're playing the best of Super League, not playing Championship sides, not playing a Super League side. They're playing the best in Super League. So I think the intensity shocked them. I think England's intensity dropped a little bit.
Felicia. And this is the best offering that the French have had so far in the game. Goudemont.
2. Move back.
Felicia.
Go. 2.
Into position. Driven in by Sangaré. Held on to by Curry, amongst others. Litsky involved as well there. Felicia comes left at this time. Lecam with the offload. Felicia there to pick up the pieces and scramble optimistically.
Go. 4.
A big effort from Sangaré as well. He's looking a handful, he's got the offload, it's a knock-on, it's another set of 6, and it's going to be a reach. Well, Lecam has got 6'8" inches to reach with, but he's just held up short. But another set of 6 for the French. More with a step.
It's a good test of England's goal line D. The first time they've had to get into 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tackles here.
This is Seguier.
2.
Backing up but going down. England reset themselves on the line. Pelissier gets ready to deliver the bullet from dummy half. Out it goes to Goudemont. On again to Gigot. Gigot spins it left, but easily read. But Morg's feet went up above the perpendicular.
That could be a yellow there.
It's an automatic penalty as soon as the legs go high. Is there a card coming out? Yeah, it's dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I would think you'd look at a yellow with that. You just can't do that now. As a tackler, if you feel you begin to lift someone, you just need to pull out a bit earlier than that. Reece, he's not that type of player anyway. Riesling, he's not, you would say, a dirty player.
No, it's dangerous, it's yellow.
Well, the referee's got the benefit of the video referee's interpretation of this as well, Robert Hicks. Dangerous translates easily, doesn't it? Martin Morg is certainly feeling the aftershock. Bateman, the captain, is called out. But there's no card, I don't think. Or are they just waiting for the treatment to conclude before a decision is made here?
There you go. 1 minute. 1 minute 12.
Yeah.
I think it's play on. Penalty only, so he's very lucky to get away with that, Reece Lynn.
Well, he's given the penalty,
Yeah.
but no more.
Probably a bit of a let-off for England now.
Yeah.
Back. Go.
But it's a decent position for the French to attack from. Navarrete, first man in.
Move. Hold. Go.
Pelissier looking right. Sangaré's threatened a couple of times and he's threatening again here and pops it off. They keep it alive. Where's it coming? Escaré nips it back. Here's Julian.
He doesn't need to do that.
Two.
Plenty of tackles left in this set.
Go.
Gigot offers it to Goudemont.
Three.
He's run hard. Goudemont.
Back.
You would say he's been the best player in the
Yeah.
French pack.
Pelissier, and the ball has been stolen. So it's going to be a penalty again here for France.
It's a third or fourth set now for France.
Right. Okay.
Navarrete attracting the attention of 3 England defenders.
Help! Release! Hold! Go! One.
Pelissier, Gigot, Seguier, making a bit of room for himself and maybe a teammate. Julian, though, cuts back in and finds that space is filled by white-shirted England defenders.
Six again!
Escaré. Gigot, kick towards the corner. I'm not sure what that was about, but it might come off here. Pelissier gets the ball away. Laguerre pops it back over the top. Carella's hands are quick. This is Yaha back for the middle. The hooter sounds in the background, so this is the last play of the first half. So you might as well take that risk. And England come up with possession, and it's safely bundled in. So that is half-time. It started electrifying for England with 20 points in the opening 20 minutes. We have seen the French dig a little deeper as the half's gone on, but England in control in this test match in Perpignan. They lead against the French by 20 points to 0. Well, I just looked askance at Jamie Peacock when John Wilkins said we're bad at being ruthless, and I'm thinking they weren't all bad at being ruthless.
Yeah, I don't mind a bit of ruthlessness in my time. I'll be honest with you. I think I agree with everything that was said in the studio there as well, though. I think with England, they did show some signs of being ruthless. This next 40 minutes is a test of that quality as a sporting team.
So second half underway. I'll take you back to one England-France international, Jamie, that you were involved in from the sidelines, the World Cup game in Perth, when England in the first 20-30 minutes of that game looked magical for the first time in that tournament and didn't really go on from there. So
yeah,
is that what this England team can learn from that? Go on from here?
Yeah, they definitely need to learn that, and you would like them. I would personally, as a an ex-player looking in, you'd like England to keep France to 0 and put maybe another 3 or 4 tries on, but just not turn it into a kind of sloppy game with it's error and try keep up that ruthlessness, try keep up the execution, and just deliver. Pretend you're playing against Australia or New Zealand or Tonga, not against France in terms of your own standards.
Okay, hold.
So the French looking to dig their way back in, and a man whose middle name is Ruthless. Jonathan Davis, what are you expecting of this second half?
Well, I think it's 50 points difference in these two sides. France are very poor, and they've got to have composure and be clinical. The execution's got to be good, but not play a loose game. It's warm out there. You got to keep your concentration. But this should be a 50-pointer really.
I'd like to see England score tries through building pressure rather than the French unforced errors, and I think that would be success in this half.
This is where the key player, the experienced players, the captain, you know, to enforce that ruthlessness in this game now, and keep the mistakes down to a minimum.
Okay, let's ban the use of the word ruthless for the rest of the game, because it's becoming meaningless. We're seeing it that often. France at the moment, 2 minutes into this second half, have got themselves in a decent position. Gigo's testing kick over there. Well, that's he's having a really poor game.
He's trying too hard, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's trying too hard, and then he's pushing everything.
So England get the ball back. By the way, to update you on the injury situation with Morgan Knowles, we saw him go off in the first half. Well, we're being told it is an ankle injury, and he will not be returning to the game. So that's a pity for Morgan Knowles, who's winning his first England cap here today. As is this man, McShane out of dummy half. Bateman shows and then has a little go.
I think McShane's decisions in and around the ruck have been outstanding all the way through this game. Which side to go, who to give it to, which forward, you know, which half-back to give it to. I think he's just continued his Castleford form into the England shirt, which is great to see. I always had questions about him. Can he step up to this kind of level? I think he's more than shown that. I know it's against weaker opposition.
Former man of steel, McShane, a year or two back. Here is Evalds threatening to make the break. But it comes loose.
10, 20, middle. Middle, center.
You know, he doesn't need to throw that as well.
Escaré, wasn't it?
Yeah.
England get it back. Sorry, Jiffy.
You talk about composure and building pressure. You know, that's the pass he doesn't need to give. Plenty of tackles left, good tackling position. Take it into midfield again and rebuild.
We saw earlier as well Sean Long in the coaching box alongside Laurent Frézinu. He's involved at Leeds these days, Jamie.
Yeah, I think Sean's got one of the best rugby brains in the game in terms of technical ability, in terms of attacking. And I think you saw that when the French attacked England's goal line defence in the kind of 20 to 30 minute period, almost creating an opportunity. That's what he's in there for.
As we mentioned earlier, of course, Trent Robinson will be teaming up with them, we understand, for the World Cup next year. He certainly was going to be for this year's World Cup. It's a bit like the Wayne Bennett influence on New Zealand and then England and Great Britain.
I just think that's great for France, having Trent Robinson there, that experience there.
McShane out of dummy half. Abdul moves it on. Lomax short. Farrell runs into a barrier of French defenders, but England are pressing again here and threatening again at the start of this second half. McShane down that left-hand side goes Bateman, but it's going no further. Hardacre. Lomax having a look. Abdul, and he's going to have a go. A little bit of a run threat on that occasion, but dealt with by the French. Here comes the six. They've got the numbers. They've got the try. Surely.
Knock on.
No. Tom Davis. Knock on.
Well, one brilliant finish, and then he should have scored there. Ball, beautiful pass. Lomax again.
Yeah.
Got to score there.
Like the dive. If he dived, he'd have scored.
On that occasion, he tries to put his ball in the left hand again. Was totally wrong. He should have put it down with his right hand. Lost possession. No try.
You just can't do that, can you? Just go the try.
This is this is an international game. He's got to just finish that off.
I think another plus for England, for me, has been how McShane, Abdul and Lomax have all worked together, all three from different clubs, and you won't be able to tell that watching this game today. I think the distribution between all three has been fair and been good.
I think McShane, he's improved season on season. He's become a real pivotal player in Super League.
Pelissier having a scamper here, causing a bit of a threat there to that English defence. Bateman was the man who recovered, but here come France now, and suddenly Lecam will fly in to score, and the young Catalan star suddenly causes the crowd to erupt, head and shoulders above his teammates, quite literally and metaphorically on that occasion, because finally he's the first Frenchman to get over the line.
Again, great break there. they don't get adjusted numbers-wise. Brilliant dummy run. I think Lynn is caught out and he scores. Brilliant finish. Legit. Just watch Rhys Lynn, the dummy runner just holds him. Makes the space for the centre to get on the outside. Lacam. He's played well since coming on.
He's made a difference, hasn't he?
He has.
He obviously made a difference on the scoreboard there, but I think just in terms of how he's carried the ball, but that's disappointing for England. That was just way too easy. Too many lost rucks. Allowed the French team to have space and be able to count heads and go down the short side where they had the extra number.
Within the space of a minute, you know, England should have scored. Now France scored on the other side.
Mark Corella with a conversion attempt here. Australian-born Mark Corella, but he's been part of the Toulouse journey, as is the modern way of saying things, for the last 10 years now. Qualifies through residence. Every other French player very much qualifying by birth. There's a swing at a kick that is poor. He'll be disappointed with his performance as well so far today. But 20 points to 4. Here's the try.
It's a beautiful pass. The dummy runner creates a space on the outside shoulder of the centre. So just checks in there. See him steps onto his left foot. All his weight is on his left foot. Can't get out.
You have to leap. You have to leap to congratulate him properly. He's 6 feet 9 inches tall, although every different article you read he seems to grow another inch. But they do reckon he's the tallest player to have played in Super League so far. There's a challenge. There's a kick-off that is going to be out of play, and just as the French made a mistake at the start of the game, the English have gone too long with that restart. Corella cleverly putting his foot in touch.
Again, the silly little errors. You know, the non-scoring of the try, then the kick out on the full gives France field position now and momentum in the game. You know, another try and all of a sudden this game changes.
Yeah, good sides as well. Don't double up on errors. Good sides. You might concede a try, but your next set after that when you kick off, there's going to be hell to pay with what you're doing. You don't kick the ball out on the full. That's a sign of mindset for me. Where's the mindset of the team at right now?
The upshot is England are defending their line again, and France are encouraged just at the moment. And Sangaré with a powerful attempt, but England's defence is the match. Pelissier out of dummy half. He's looking for a penalty, and he'll get the 6 again, which again is the fashion of the moment. Instead of slowing the game down with penalties, they simply get another set to go with. Gigot, the ball across towards Navarrete. England's defence being tested like never before in this game, just in this 5-minute spell. Gudemond straightens and pushes. And the ball has been stolen, so this will be a penalty.
Okay.
So it's another set of 6.
It's good pressure at the moment for the French side. You think the last 10 minutes of the first half they were kind of on top. The first 10 minutes of the second half they're on top. England have work to do here to work their way back into the game. Ill discipline is a problem.
Here's Lacam again. Perpignan lad, you won't be surprised to know that basketball was his sport of choice as a youngster, but he has been at the Catalan club since the age of 10, so quickly changed. Gigot's ball wide, searching for some give in that England defence. Pelissier in the feet of Seguier. Pelissier is going to have a little nibble himself as well. Corella having a look around, short and hard and steadfast by Marianne, but England's defence is good enough for the moment. Pelissier again. Gigot. Oh, the kick. Oh, it's a little bit of fortune for England. Oh, the ball's been stolen by Gigot to score the try. It's a one-on-one steal. The referee deciding the tackle hadn't been complete. And I think that's a slip-up by Tommy Makinson here. Referee's having a look.
I have a try.
He thinks try on the field.
Brother, can you check in,
But he
please?
wants the video referee.
Please, have a try. No.
Wants the video referee to have a look here. What do you reckon, fellas? It's all on from there.
The tackle's complete, isn't it? When he goes down on top of it. That's
was
when
he
the
held?
tackle's
It's Philbin. I do
complete.
apologise to
It's
Tommy
held,
Makinson. It is Joe Philbin.
Was he held on the floor though?
But that's held, isn't it? When someone's on top of you,
Yeah.
when the ball's on the floor, is that not held?
Well, his knees on him, his hands weren't on him, so again, comes down to the one man.
Well, they're having a look there at
This is the angle.
offside, or I'm not sure.
I'd say that's complete.
Yeah.
That's definitely complete.
Yeah.
You know, he's getting up to play the ball.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a penalty.
No try. Penalty.
Yeah, no try penalty. You called it right. I think they were just looking there to see if there'd been an offside in the build-up, but there wasn't.
Foul.
So England, well, I won't say get away with it because it was all done illegally, wasn't it? So
Yeah. England have got a chance now to claw their way back into this game. For the first 10 minutes of the second half, that they've been put under pressure by the French side. They need to just have a complete this set and get away a good kick with kick chase.
referee stopping things here. Touch judge on the field.
Yeah, they just need to regroup now and just repeat what they did the first 20 minutes. Good, hard, straight running, suck defenders in, and then clinical finishing. Because Lomax's distribution, as you said, Jamie, has been brilliant. So I think just a bit more of that, simplify the game plan.
This is where they earn the money, sorry, Jiffy, where they earn the money, the half-backs.
Hold. Go. 3. Arrête to Paul.
Bateman. Abdul.
That's right, just
looked
simple.
flat.
Control the game, control where they play, orchestrate the forwards,
Tony.
and cut out errors.
10, 20, center. Tenue transition. Milieu. Hand over. Make friends.
Remember, this is the first of 3 games that England have in the build-up to next year's World Cup. That's all they've got. They've got a mid-season next year, we're led to believe, against the All-Stars 13, just as they played this year. But next year, we're being told it'll be a one-off game. There'll be not a round of Super League matches around it, and players will be given the opportunity to play in that. And then they've got Fiji around 10 days ahead of the World Cup starting. And the people of Rochdale will be hoping it will be at the Rochdale Stadium, because they were all going for it this year. But in that respect, that kind of heightens the importance of this kind of game, doesn't it? You know, one of only 3 matches building up to a World Cup.
What we were looking at before, this is the second game in over 600 days, and that's going to be 4 games played in nearly 900 days building. It's hugely important, this.
I think they're all important, as I said. You know, international matches, you've got an opportunity to stake your claim. Big competition.
Watch.
Move, Paul. Hold. Go. Oh, go. It's okay.
Big Toulousian prop forward. There's a chip. Evalds eye on the ball, and in amongst that forest of chasers, he gets up well to take.
Yeah, again a nothing kick, no real pressure on him there.
2. Move. Hold.
Well, the sun's still shining in Perpignan.
Hold. Go. Play on.
English supporters will look on with some envy, those who've chosen to stay at home and watch from their settees,
Move.
rather than go out there.
Les gars, arrêtez de crier. Il fait semblant de jouer. Go. 4. Move.
Couple of tackles to go in this set. Cruz leaning on the field from the interchange bench. And his opposite number in that context, Pellissier, the 2 dummy halves.
Last.
Pellissier doing very well, but England going wide this time. Can they find some room all the way to Hardacre? French defence have got across.
Yeah, it's good defence by France. They're outnumbered on the left-hand side. They just kind of went up and drifted wide. England need to straighten up or cut back on an inside ball.
I think Zach just needs to kick there. He just needs to kick and move the ball further down the field. He's got a good kick chase in and around him. I think this part of the game is, as a coach, you probably learn more about your players. You know, when they're under a bit of pressure, under a bit of fatigue, rather than the first 20 minutes, everything's going your way. You don't have to do any tackling. So I think in some kind of way, this is useful for Shaun Wane to find out about players who've not played at the international level before.
First 20 minutes, England 20, France 0. The next nearly 34 minutes, it's England 0, France 4. And to a certain extent, that is meaningless because it's the overall score that matters. But it just underlines that after that initial burst from England, they struggled to get on top of
They
this game.
started very, very well. Tempo, intensity, and blew the French away. But no, they've got to just try and maintain that or get the momentum back.
Julian. Benjamin Julian. Made his name with the North Wales Crusaders, where he was spotted by Richard Agar, who was then the French coach. Got a gig at Warrington. Escarret.
3, move, race. Go, 3. 4.
Desaria.
Move, John. Hold, go, 4.
Twetch.
Last.
France chipping at the mountain face of this English defence,
Okay, 4.
and eventually forced to kick because they can't find a passage through. And is that going to hold up? No, it's not. And England get the tap.
I think we saw
Back on the 20.
a bit more intent there, would they, from England in defence. You know, Philbin leading that up, wanting to be aggressive, wanting to put the French players on the backside.
0.
Yeah, they've got to dictate the pace now, England. They've got to just pick the tempo up, make the game a little bit quicker, get aggressive. Maybe, you know, we'll see Walmsley coming back on with Cooper very, very soon to get the momentum back.
Makinson popping up in that left channel.
Go, 3.
Leeming trying to dodge down that blind side.
3, move. Go, 3.
Curry,
Super.
Farrell, here's Evalds. Alecki. So the Polish-born Mikołaj Alecki will get up, and the Swaziland-born Cruz Leeming will get the game going again. How very rugby league. And here's Philbin.
Move, Anthony.
Leeming again. Last play. Oh, and Lomax absolutely smashed by Lecam.
Again,
Read that superbly.
brilliant tackle, just spotted it. Read the dummy to go open, came blind, smashed Lomax.
Come, John.
Well, there's more making debuts than not, and Lecam is one of those who is making a debut, and he's having a game to remember here.
Yeah, you know what? He's got real rugby intelligence, hasn't he? He's not just a big player. He's not coming in at 6'9" and just using his physique. He's got the ability to read the game and see what's going on. You saw that with the try he scored. He had to make a decision. Dummied scored, and they made the right decision to come in on Lomax down the short side.
John. On y va. Time on.
Yaha.
Move. Go, 1.
It feels like England have kind of weathered a bit of a storm here, isn't it? They're kind of back into the game. They've got a feel for it now, but I'd just like to see 3 or 4 England players take this game by the scruff of the neck now and just think, right, I'm going to make a difference today. I've got a chance to wear my England shirt. World Cup got cancelled. There's this on. What can I do about it? How can I cement my place?
Here come the French again, though. This is Seguier striding through, and he can't quite be caught, and it means that Kerala will score. Well, this crowd that has been mostly silenced today erupts with passion and delight, but then that groan, that collective groan, as the referee says, not quite yet.
It'd be interesting to see what he's looking at. I couldn't see anything wrong with the try.
An appeal from Mark Kerala. Don't spoil my big moment, please, sir. Obstruction? Lecam?
Yes, Lecam on Lomax. But then again, he passed it, so Lomax wouldn't be drifting onto that Seguier. Lovely inside pass.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful little dummy, wasn't it? Great confidence.
It's a tough call here. What do you think on the obstruction, Jamie?
I think they're going to go with it. I think they're going to go with the try. I think it was great play from Kerala, the way he hid himself around the back that created that try. The players couldn't quite see where he was coming from. I'd like to see this again.
Lecam comes in. stops the drift of Lomax. But then, you know, he wouldn't have drifted on that player, would he, really? So
It's great from Seguier. Wonderful stuff. I'm sure a lot of people in Barrow will be cheering him on. He had a short spell there on loan.
if they're looking at the ground then, well, they must have been given a try then. But they're going back again to the obstruction. So why do you want to go back? Why do you want to see the try when this is the point? Just watch, he comes in.
I think there he's got to try and cut back on the inside, hasn't he, outside of Lomax's way, and there's no attempt from him to do that, which you think would lead to being obstruction, but the way they're playing this over.
There we are, no try. That's consistent to you know, the Super League and the NRL. You've got to run the inside shoulder, as you said, Jamie. If you're stopping a defender drifting, although he passed it, it's still obstruction. Bit of a try, chalked off. Momentum now is with France, and England have got to wrestle the momentum away from by just getting back to basics, getting the forwards piling in, half-backs controlling the game.
Well, now we have the noise and the passion. It's been stirred by that decision.
You're right, Jiff.
Initially by the actual break itself. They look classy there, the French.
Yeah, you're right, Jiff. And we'll say it's down to the senior players within the England squad now. The people like Bateman, Lomax, Cooper's back on there. That they need to step up. They're the ones who know how to change the momentum of a game by their own individual performances.
He's gone against England.
Yeah, well, he tripped him. Just tripped him.
This is a dangerous moment here. I mean, ifs and buts, but if that try had been given, and obviously it wasn't, France were back within 2 scores with 20 minutes to play.
I'd be screaming instructions now, you know, at the forwards, at the half-backs. You know, what is needed to just get the momentum back? Screaming at everyone, cut mistakes out, smash them up the middle again.
It's Puech. Pelissier, dummy half. His family are local restaurateurs, Eloi Pelissier, so I'm sure they've enjoyed having a big crowd around Perpignan. Pelissier again.
I don't want to put the mockers on the French here, but I think for this first 20 minutes in the second half, they've cut out the unforced errors, haven't they? They've been a lot more clinical. You mentioned that word before, Jiffy, and I think clinical is certainly what France have been, and England haven't in the first 20 minutes of this half.
Escale went searching but couldn't find, so France come back towards the middle again now. Goudemont.
Move back!
England players being urged to get back by the referee. Gigot switching it back. Julian just trying to push off that defence, but Hardacre and alongside him, Makinson hanging on. Last play. England doing their level best to slow it down. Escaré's pass, not the best, but Gigot puts a little kick in. Now it's on. Davis has it, looking to defuse. Too many French defenders for him to have a hope of getting to safety. Drop out underneath the sticks for England.
Repeat set, that's what they needed. Couldn't score from it, so they'll have the ball back, keep the pressure on.
It's the best set from France so far. They've had options either side of the play. The ball, great kick at the end, 5 players chasing it. That's how you build pressure, how you win test matches.
Well, here's a test for England.
Okay, Jordan. What do you want?
With both a capital and a lowercase t. To remind you, today should have been the day they were taking on Samoa at St James's Park, Newcastle. Start of the World Cup. Instead, they find themselves here at the foot of the Pyrenees. And although they look reasonably comfortable on the scoreline, anything but comfortable in this last 20 minutes or so. A step by Morg. Wants to get up and play it. Curry's hampering his style. Pelissier goes wide. Gigot, wider still. Into the line comes Corella. Crashing effort. In defence. Abdul it was who got his body in the way.
Hold, go, 4.
Julian. Goudemont. Gigot.
They've found the rhythm, the French here, haven't they, with the ball?
Gigot's found a bit of confidence as well. And now he's dropped by Pelissier.
Yeah, good defensive set here by France now. Tails it up. Keep them down here. Get a kick return on their own half.
Wilkinson will test them with that initial typical just hurling his body at the opposition type of run. Hardacre wants to offload, can't do it. Julian's all over him. Here's Leeming. Lomax along the way. Davis going nowhere. Unusual situation for Tom Davis, normally a hero when he plays here for the Catalans, but very much the anti-hero playing for the opposition today. Walmsley looking to smash a hole down the middle again and gets up and plays it quickly. Leeming is off. And now Lomax gets it along the line. Curry's done well. This is terrific. Now it's Riesling, has support inside and out. Goes for Davis. Oh, misconnection. Misconnection. It looked like it was walking day for England. Instead it ended with a stumble.
Yeah.
That's just easy finish. Just gets his body in the wrong position. You know, it doesn't tilt the shoulder, hold the full back. That's a dreadful missed opportunity. You know, Lynch should. You just got to finish that. You won't get an easier opportunity than that.
No, 50-50. Take late off the ball, no? No, 50-50, okay. Please, Paul. Paul, okay. Geoffrey, il faut que les décisions. C'était pas clair là.
Lovely ball, good angle by Curry, creates the extra man. You just got to slow it down, time the pass. He didn't do anything as well, the full back, to be honest. Kerala didn't just.
Il le touche, hein?
It's just an easy opportunity.
Ouais, mais tu me le dis pas, mec. Yeah,
It's still a 3-score game here.
No. You have not the choice. 20.
Benjamin Casti pointing out where the French should be. By the way, his brother Remy is here today. Remy Casti in the crowd, watching on. Family ties.
Okay.
And country ties, of course.
Time on.
Seguier. Just harking back to that World Cup, by the way, these two are in the same group as well. England, France, Samoa and Greece. When the tournament does get underway next autumn.
Alex, stand!
I can't wait for that.
It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's just going to be brilliant, right?
Yeah. As we say, not just the men, the women's game. We saw the women doing ever so well earlier to beat the French. And the wheelchair game as well.
That's ferocious.
Hold, go, 3.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I couldn't hear you there, Jiffy. Ferocious it is. It's very skillful as well.
It is.
Penalty for the French, which will give them even more heart and confidence. England just looking at their boots at the moment. It's that kind of position they find themselves in. They need to dig deep, because if the French can get a score back, and with this crowd getting more and more involved, this could be a tough run-in this last 15 minutes for England.
Go.
You can tell the players know, right? They know this is below where they need to be at. And they're just thinking to themselves, how do we improve?
That's great by Seguier and Kerala.
But also, you know, the English heads have dropped at the moment.
Go.
Body language, France, you know, a lot better.
Oh, almost intercepted by Curry. Almost intercepted, but it's given them, the French, another set.
Ils choisissent. Les gars.
He catches out, he scores. He can fly.
Viens. Okay, here. Ils choisissent, Geoffrey. Line, boys, line.
You have to give France some credit here, the way they've come back into the game 20-0 down. We were thinking, you know, how many points is this going to be?
Yeah.
Taken by Puech.
Yeah. As you said, Dave, they score now. Tails are up. 15 minutes to go.
Pelissier. Gigot. That's gone down to Lomax, and England breathe a sigh of relief as Lomax brings it relatively clear. Yes, the perennial story of England ago, I say perennial, they don't play each other every year. It's a long time between drinks very often, but the last 4 games they've played against them, England have racked up 204 points and conceded only 22 in the 4 games before this. So that early start looked like it was story as normal, but the French have certainly toughened up.
It's a good run from Leeming. I think one player England are missing when games are like this is Sam Tompkins. I think that guile and experience he has, an understanding of how to move a team around and be able to build pressure and get themselves back into the game and hold the momentum of the opposition.
Yeah, he's vocal, isn't he, from the back? Directs sides around.
Well, there are
Poor pass.
a few players who are not on show today who were this a World Cup game. Shaun Wane would certainly hope would be available. The NRL contingent, all the players who played in Australia this year are not available. The likes of George Williams, Sam Tompkins, Mark Percival, Jack Welsby, who's had a stellar year for St Helens. There's a lot of players to come into contention. Daryl Clark.
Back, pressure, stand up. Eloi, offside. Eloi.
Lomax.
Ok, jouez. Four, move.
Couple of plays to go.
Fourth.
Leaning. There's Ebbels. Walmsley.
Last. Move.
Last play in the set. England could do with a settler here. Abdul with the left boot do the talking again. It's been knocked forward, I think, by Escaré. I think at least England get the ball back.
I was just thinking then, how many times have we seen England
offside.
kick to build
Offside.
pressure? Yeah, it's offside. I mean, that just sums up the second half. But the kicking game is such an important part of building pressure, how you finish your sets. And you would say England, the way they've finished the sets, they've either not got to the end of sets, or when they've got there, they've not kicked to build pressure, they've been caught in possession on the last play. Not signs of an international quality side at the moment.
No.
We have got the ability in there, but we just haven't seen it in this second half.
Possession and territory, I think France will be dominant in the second half. Especially, England have blown two clear-cut chances.
Play on.
You can only imagine that France are going to improve in the next 12 months as well. These Toulouse players getting that Super League experience under their belts, and the young Catalan players another year older, another year wiser. He's Desiree. He's only 24 years of age, prop forward.
You just think it's exciting times for the game in France. You know, two teams now in Super League, a World Cup coming up. What the sport needs.
Sangaré. Delissier. Little kick and chase by Corella.
Yeah, penalty, held back.
So France encouraged again. 11 minutes to play. Just an arm from Farrell. That's all it took.
Yeah, I think Lomax had it covered.
Card. Was it? No, he was just making sure that his back pocket was buttoned up, I think.
I think he's forgotten his card, wasn't he?
Yes.
You know, it's there, I can see it.
There's a yellow one peeping out there, ref.
Who's that ball? He's on the bench.
England are hoping
Is
he
he
keeps
off?
it in his pocket.
Okay.
Is he off?
Yes, he is.
off.
He is. He has produced a card. He was putting it back. That's what we saw. And he's sin-binned Johnny Lomax. And as you can hear
He's the wrong guy.
from John Bateman, you've got the wrong man, referee.
Okay.
Liam Farrell, bald head.
No problem.
Johnny Lomax, scrum cap.
Okay.
It's hard to get them mixed up, but he has done.
I can see why John Bateman is a little bit upset arguing with him there, but this is a hell of a challenge now for the last 10 minutes for England. Down to 12 men, French on top.
Move! Stand up!
So Lomax sin-binned. He'll be back for the last 18 seconds or so. France with the extra man. Coralla goes wide. It's Laguerre who steps back in.
Move! Line! Go!
An effort by Marion.
It's a worry for England every time they come down England's right-hand side, I feel.
Pelissier played such an important role since he's come on the field.
He has played well, picked the tempo of the game up for France.
Marion again. It's the short pass by Merck. England hanging on here. Literally hanging on. Navarrete gets up to play. Morg goes right. Gigot goes over the top, almost too far. Bounce back for Julien.
C'est le dernier?
That's the last tackle. That's a poor decision once again.
They lost their heads, didn't they?
They did.
Back, Zach.
It's a big let-off for
Okay,
England.
play
that.
on! Zach, play on!
lost their heads or lost count, whichever. It's England who get the ball back again. But look where they're starting from again here. This is far from comfortable.
One, move.
Sean Wayne would have been grinning from ear to ear
Go,
in the opening 20 minutes. Maybe it's more of a grimace in what he's seen since. Oh, that's 3 men in the tackle.
No.
3 men in the tackle. You can't do that.
More still. Stop. Bowling. Les gars,
That's
il va falloir se calmer dans
crazy
vos propos. Le prochain, c'est dehors
They're
également.
on, you know,
Paul,
they're
la prochaine fois, c'est dehors.
under the
Right,
caution
vous parlez
there, under pressure, England, trying to get out their own line, and there's a 3-man in the tackle. He steals the ball.
Okay,
Just relieves the
It's
pressure on
okay,
England now.
That's the shame, right? Because that's been the biggest improvement in France, is that discipline, unforced errors. They've improved remarkably in the 50 minutes since the first 20 minutes.
So we're going to get a stoppage again here. Shout out, by the way, to Neil Onston and the Rugby League Record Keepers Club, because they've been working for the last 18 months or so on getting all the French heritage numbers. You'll see there 682 representing the number of or the number in line of players who have played for France. There's a lot of hard work going on that, really representing the French heritage as well. 700 players so far have represented France in their 371 games. It all started back in 1934. Laurent Fraser knew the coaches. Number 560, Tony Gigot is the earliest in this French team of 640. But it's great to reflect that history, isn't it? And especially with French Rugby League, which has such a fantastic history.
I love it. I loved it as a player. I love it now. I don't play, you know, respect to history, to the players that have worn the shirt before, and knowing which players have played in your position, what their names were. You know, at times England, we had shirts with all the players and names who wore the shirt before. I think it's fantastic that somebody's taken the time and effort to do that, particularly given what's happened in France before.
Here's Walmsley.
3, move it on.
England, you'd think, have weathered the storm with 8 minutes to go. But they wanted more than that. And here's Evalds to try and add a bit of spice. Farrell had the ball knocked away by Escaré. It'll be another set of 6 for England.
Yeah, stole the ball.
Go.
Abdul. Bateman.
One.
Straightening up of intent from Miletsky.
Mark.
Sorry, Cooper.
Remets attention au plaquage. 1.
Here's Walmsley.
2.
Good hit.
Move, Romain.
They've been into his ribs today, haven't they? Alex Walmsley. Leeming. Abdul, out it goes. Lynn.
3.
I think that's going to be a challenge for Alex Walmsley. He's a talisman within that English forward team now. Sides will go after him, and how he deals with that is going to be key to his performances going forward at international.
Farrell, left it goes to Hardacre. Hardacre gets it away to Makinson, and Tommy Makinson will score the try that settles England's nerves, gives them their smile back.
Yeah,
great start, and possibly now a good finish.
That's a settler, isn't it? Stops everything now, momentum, game is over. You can just relax a little bit, and again, one of the French players just loses his head, comes rushing in out of a position, and if he doesn't stop the ball going out, there he is. I think he's, I'm not sure it is. Very difficult, you know. If you rush in, you don't stop the ball, and you've got absolutely no chance of stopping a try.
I think that just looked like the first 20 minutes. Again, all the England players in the right position, the skill was on point, and the French just defending as individuals. We've gone back an hour to that first 20-minute period again, and effectively ends the resistance from France in this game.
So it's going to be another English victory against France. The mood has descended again in Perpignan.
They deserve some credit, though. I really think it was a spirited performance to get back into this game by France. I know England intensity really dropped, but France had to improve.
Yeah, it could have been a real one-sided affair, but France have really come back in the second half, and they've been the better side in the second half.
And again, you know, it's very easy for us to sit back and talk about ifs and buts, but if Corentin Le Cam had taken a different line and that try had been given for the French, Corella, then, you know, we could have a very different story here. But as it is, Abdul fails to add the goal, but England are in a very good position again, leading by 24 points to 4.
And again, I think it's Guijo comes in and just comes out to the defensive line for no apparent reason when they had numbers there to defend.
Well, well done to the English women's team as well today, who had a fine win, backed up their big win against the Welsh in mid-season. So it's been a difficult time for women's rugby league. Their season just about obliterated last year, but they've come back strong this year with a really fine club competition. St Helens, hats off to them, who did the treble, Challenge Cup, league leaders, and the grand final a couple of weeks ago against Leeds. And the English women's side beating Wales and beating France today as they prepare for that big challenge for them next year in the World Cup as well.
It's just good to see the women's game growing. Woodsy, how many fans were there in the grand final? It's going from strength to strength, and another year that will be even better for the World Cup.
Looking at chase, or attempted kick and chase by Morgan. Takes the deflection.
6, yeah.
And it's to be another set here. And the Morgan.
Go!
Arthur Morgan, I should say, getting up, and Pelissier puts it back on the inside, and this is Sangaré.
1, move, go, 1.
So 5 plays to go here. The French looking to add a bit of pizzazz at the end. Escaré has to cut back.
2, move, go, 2.
Julien, Goudemont, Gigot. Here comes Marion.
3, move, hold, go, 3.
Pelissier. Gigot again, and across the line they try and search. It's with Sangaré.
Race. Okay, go.
Tackle,
4.
Bateman.
Morg picks up and goes, and an effort from Pelissier that is just going to be held up short. Play quickly, Corella, and it's going to be Sangaré who gets over to score. Thoroughly deserved. He's had an eye-catching few moments here this afternoon, Justin Sangaré. And on his debut, he's another to collect a debut try. Too late for the French to make a real difference, but at least it sends the French fans home with a bit of positivity again.
Yeah, again, good play. Yeah, around the ruck, first man. Don't panic, he's short. Just quickly, the ball's a great angle. Just somebody spots out. Bateman comes out, tries to get the intercept. Sangaré scores.
That's too easy, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's too easy at international level. You know, I know the game's done, but for me, it's just way too easy to score that try against the English defence.
That's a rush of blood, isn't it? John Bateman just comes out to the line, and you know, the hole naturally opens up.
It's frustration, Jiffy.
Yeah.
It's frustration that things aren't going the way they want them to. And trying to solve it yourself instead of being in with the team. He's got positive intentions there. He's trying to do the right thing, but in the wrong way.
Well, the French will point to the 2 try scorers and say that is the future. That is the future. Ben Garcia, by the way, we just saw on the bench. He's an undoubted starter where he fits. But Sangaré at 23. Le Cam at 22, 2 try scorers here today, and they have blooded here some talent. Morg at 21, Jusson, who maybe found himself a little out of his depth at 22, but Laguerre at 22. You know, there's a sprinkling of young French talent that will be better in 12 months' time.
Well, and also, you know, the experience of the Catalan Dragons players coming in again. You know, they'll be a lot better in the World Cup.
They're going wide again. Here's Fouhad Yaha. He seems to be been around for ages, but he's still only 25. Is Fouhad. Julien. Net well by Hardacre. 4 minutes left to play. The French, knowing it's beyond them, but keeping up this fight to the last.
their bench has been great, hasn't
Giga's
it?
little chip and chase. Oh, that's wonderful. That's good. It's taken on again by Morg. It's one chip too far, and Evalds picks it up, and now he can be destructive here. Niall Evalds will look to get his pace on the outside of Pelissier, who does just enough as a speed bump in the first place. And then with a tackle to follow it up. Another set of 6. That was a hooter in the background. England, from being backs to the wall, is suddenly going forward again. Walmsley.
Move! Back! 6 again!
Another set. Oledzki gets up, Leeming. 6 tackles, 15 away. Abdul to Farrell. Pelissier wraps him up.
Move, Tony!
Slowing it down. Pelele Bleu is a shot from the sidelines.
Play on!
Walmsley, great offload. Cooper takes it on. Fancied it himself, but gets it away to Bateman, and Bateman makes it a brace for him. England captain, 2 tries, winning cause. England lead 28 points to 10.
It's all about offloads. There's the first offload. 1 out the tackle. Cooper goes, sees the line. There's another offload. Great support play by Bateman. Very difficult to defend the offloads. There's the second one. Good finish, Bateman. They bounced back very well. 2 late tries. But I think they'd be disappointed. Again, the frustration of Bateman there. They've won quite comfortably, but they lost a little bit of dominance, at the start of the second half.
I think they know they've not played the way Shaun Wane would want them to play in the last kind of 60 minutes. So that's a great try from 3 players who I think have played well in this game. They've run hard in the game. They've wanted to hurt people when they carry the ball, and when you do that, you have the ability to offload the ball. But I think frustration is a good word to use, and one that we overuse would do that we've not seen at all from England. It has been ruthless in the second half.
We've got that word back.
Yeah, we can forget about that word.
Well, here's a stat. Collectively, this English side only had 80 caps between them before the game began, and only 13 tries between them internationally, England and Great Britain, before the game began. Well, they've scored 6 tries today, so they've very nearly scored 50% of their tries collectively today in this one game. Jonathan,
well done, Dave.
Thank you.
I think
that's all I need. A bit of praise.
Well,
yeah,
a bit of praise, but I just think they should have scored a lot more.
Yes, probably. Here's Abdul with the kick, and over it goes.
Nice kick.
That's a good kick. So 10 points to 30. England lead, and that's a scoreline that looks a lot more reassuring. Jamie Peacock.
40 pointers, please.
Yeah, the danger of thinking, are we going to lose this game, has gone from this, and I think it's a good end to a poor half, I feel, for England. There'll be some disappointment, some frustration going forward, but I think as a coach there's some good learning points. I think he's found out a little bit about some debutants. You think Morgan Knowles was outstanding before he went off. I thought Paul McShane was brilliant. I thought Paul McShane was really relished playing in the England shirt today as well.
I just think how important, it just shows how important Cooper and Walmsley are since they've come back. Oh, there they go. What's the point of this now?
Time off.
Well, it's ending like it began.
Yeah.
A mistake from a kick-off and a bit of a fisticuffs.
Angry faces. It's not fisticuffs going on there, Dave. Just some angry faces and pushing and shoving.
Exchange of handbags, I think.
Okay. Tommy.
Commentary from a man who never did anything but an angry face in Jonathan Davies, and a man who always had an angry face, and sometimes it went a lot further from Jamie Peacock. You don't want to be picking on Alex Walmsley. Young Sangaré.
There's no point having a talk to the referees now with 20 seconds to go. All the captains.
Calm down, calm,
It's pointless.
C'est pas pour qui lui. C'est bon, je vous fais une question là. Oui. Tom Davies, il garde le ballon au sol, il ne veut pas rendre le ballon. Ok. Après, ça va se pousser, il n'y a pas de souci. Hand over. Hand over, ok. Justin, hand over, ok, c'est bon.
So we're back to where we were before the pushing and shoving broke out. Mistake from the kickoff has given France possession back again, but only 20 seconds to have a go, so 3 tackles maybe, 3 plays to try and open up this English defence again. Oh, it's all on. It's all on Laurent Frézignou, the French coach, on the Catalan coach, on the sidelines. I wonder what his thoughts are. Mixed, I should imagine, at the end of the 80 minutes.
I think he's probably more positive than with Shaun Wane out of it. With 20-0, it would have been easy to fold. They absolutely have not done that.
Well, the hooter's sounded, so this is the last play, and Lecam inevitably is up there because he's the biggest. The ball goes to ground. England have it back. It's dropped on by Oleski, and the referee says, let's not all this nonsense break out again. Let's just call time on again. Satisfying victory for England. Maybe not entirely satisfying performance by them. The opening 20 minutes, they were very good. Maybe a little bit average for what came after that. But it's the victory that counts at the end of the day. They have beaten France by 30 points to 10.